And welcome back aboard the Night Bus, magical transport for the stranded witch, wizard, or muggle. I'm Corey.
This is Jamie.
And we are doing our, as advertised, special edition Doctor Who episodes. One each day this week, leading up to the new season of Doctor Who. And, we tried to flag down the TARDIS, but the Doctor didn't stop. He just kept on going. So we're on the night bus as always. Reliable. Takes you where you need to go. But while on the journey on the night bus, we will be discussing Christopher Eccleston's run as the Doctor when they brought Doctor Who back in 2005.
Yep, 2005.
Yeah. I didn't start watching until 2022 or 3, but that's beside the point.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Like it. You definitely spent years and years trying to convince me to watch it, and I always told you, it's not my type of show, not my type of show. And then when I finally did watch it, oh my God, it was amazing. It took me a little while to get through the first season with Eccleston, but yeah, once I got through it and got to Tennant and then Matt Smith, it was just amazing. And then when I went back and rewatched Eccleston's run, knowing everything, it made Eccleston's run so much better. So many references that were just over my head the first time I watched it.
Well, you came into it, like you said, in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happened? BBC, British Broadcasting Channel. Yeah.
Something like
right? that. British Broadcasting, yeah, it's got to be channel.
Channel communications, something.
Something. Anyway, BBC, British television, basically.
Mm-hmm.
British, government-run television. The show, the original Doctor Who dates all the way back to 1963. We won't touch on that too much. It's basically, what we're going to hit the new Who.
Mm-hmm.
2000
Rebirth.
Yeah. Well, just kind of a continuation. Because literally, it was just a continuation of the original.
Yeah, because Eccleston is the ninth Doctor.
Exactly.
He's not the new first Doctor. He's the ninth Doctor.
And I'm assuming most people who are listening probably have a little bit of knowledge on Doctor Who. And if not, hang on. We'll try to fill you in.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were saying, in 2005, they brought it back to the BBC under new production, whatnot. Main writer is Russell T Davies. Lead actor was Christopher Eccleston.
Mm-hmm.
Co-star Billy Piper.
Yeah.
Who coincidentally was some fairly well-known pop star in Britain at the time. May still be. Very good actress. So she's went on to do several other shows.
Oh, yeah.
But at any rate, that was your core cast when they brought it back in 2005. So what'd you like about it from the get? Because like you say, it took me forever to get you to finally watch some of it.
I'll be honest. I don't know what. Like, I watched it, like I told you, and it took me like a good month or two to slowly get through the first season of it. So it wasn't like it immediately hooked me, and I just loved it as much as I do now from the start. I liked it, and I found it interesting. I can't really pinpoint what it was. It was very interesting. The characters were interesting. The story, like I said, this was all brand new to me. Everything that you had said over the years, I just didn't understand, so I didn't remember any of it. So everything was brand spanking new. It was just interesting. And like I said, especially Eccleston's run, in my opinion, is one that you have to rewatch later after you've watched everything else. If you know the original. Because there was so many things that I did not understand the first time I watched the Eccleston and Doctor Who.
Well, we'll call it the original run of Doctor Who that ran from 63 to
like
I want to say 89.
I know it was late 80s.
Late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, it was BBC produced on a not the greatest budget. Which the reboot or the continuation also, this is the BBC. It's basically government run television.
Yeah, so they didn't have no budget either.
Like huge production, quality.
Yeah, they didn't have no budget till season 5. Matt Smith showed up, and they went, "Hey, look, we found some budget."
Well, by that time it had blown up, it did, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves on that one.
Yeah, it's 2 days away.
Yeah.
Back to Eccleston's run.
Well, like I say, you take off with Eccleston, and it's a slow build. And that's one thing about it, probably why you just kind of... It's a slow build from when it reboots. If you got a little bit of history on it, you know kind of what's happening. You understand the TARDIS. That's the Doctor's spaceship, for lack of a better term. It's capable of traveling through space and time. It's capable of a whole lot of things.
Oh yeah.
And the big kicker is, and it always gets the people. It's bigger on the inside than the outside.
Oh, the Doctor loves that.
And it doesn't go into a lot of detail on why that is. And that's one thing I like about it. It doesn't beat you over the head with, this is why this is able to do that. And if you question it too much, just don't watch the show.
Yeah.
And
I was also
it's not going to be your thing if you want to question the tech too much, because,
Well, it's a show about space travel and time travel. You can't dig too deep, otherwise you start picking holes in things.
Exactly, and there's plenty of ways to do that.
But the story's good enough that you don't need to really question anything. They tell you enough so that you know what's going on, and that's all you need to know.
And when you come into the beginning of it, on the continuation, when they kicked it back off again in 2005 with Rose, the first episode of the new run, we'll call it New Who. First episode of New Who, titled Rose. Like I said, it's a slow build. They give you a little bit of story, a little bit of... it's enough to get you back into it, or to get you into it if you've never watched it before.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
There's enough mystery about the character of the Doctor. You don't know. And it's really questionable. Is he a good guy? Is he not a good guy? And that's played out throughout the whole run of the series.
Yeah, that's not specified just to like the first couple episodes. It's literally from Eccleston to Tennant to Matt Smith to Capaldi to any of them. The Doctor's never really, like, there's times when he's like definitely the good guy. He's doing everything to save people. He's a good guy. There's other times where it's like, the Doctor's just, here to have fun. He don't care what actually happens to the people. So yeah, he's a good guy, but he's not your prototypical good guy.
And you really, he's this very old space alien, mopping around in this futuristic craft, and you're really not sure if he understands exactly what he's doing a lot of the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
the Doctor very much flies by the seat of his pants.
Yeah, so it's very questionable on the character. Is this a bumbling idiot? Is he a genius? Is he a little bit of both? But like I say, it's a slow build. Just for references, the 63, when it started out, it was basically targeted toward kids. It was a kid's show. Mainly to teach history was its initial idea. Weekly they'd have this show come on and travel through time and show some historical events, but it just kind of grew from that.
That would explain why the very first villain is a toy maker.
Point. Yeah, it's the original several seasons probably. I mean, it grew over time.
Yeah,
definitely grew over time.
Yeah, and the visuals got better over time too. Well, oh my God!
Low budget in '63. You
oh yeah,
not expecting a whole lot.
I mean, even high budget back then, you're not expecting a lot, but low budget makes it even worse. Oh my God! Yeah,
but it's written so good that you overlook all that.
Yeah. Well, but that's what I say about the New Who.
Yeah, though it's written so well that you look past a lot of that.
When Jackie always says, "I don't know how you watch it, Corey. You're the one always complaining about visual special effects and all this stuff, and you can't watch things with bad special effects." Like, the story for Doctor Who is just written so well that it doesn't matter.
And to the writer's credit, that's a big attraction of the show. The tech and the stories are really good. The writing is great, and it like you said, it's hard to explain what it is, but when you get to watching it, it just hooks you in.
It does.
And it's fun.
That's the big thing.
It can be really fun, kind of dark at times.
It does. It has its moments where it's kind of dark, where it's kind of sad. Just certain moments. But overall, most episodes are all just fun. Just enjoyment. You turn it on, and you're gonna have a good time with the Doctor.
Now you say that, but that makes me think through the history of the Doctor, there's a lot of darkness that follows him around.
Well, we know that.
There's a lot of not so good events that also happen. And like I said, that's just good storytelling. The storytelling is amazing.
Yeah. We don't need to go into the fates.
At its worst, when we're talking about just season 1 of the reboot, the continuation, at its worst, it's good.
Oh, yeah.
That may not continue throughout the whole run. But anyway, for that first season,
it gets better. It builds. It builds from season 1 on to season 2, 3, and 4, then to 5, 6, and 7. It just builds to a peak, and then you start down the slope of the mountain. It's how a mountain works. You go up the mountain, then you go back down the mountain.
And maybe it had a whole lot to do with the time. It came out you might as well say 20 years ago now. The particular season we're talking about aired in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole season, which was Eccleston's only run, he only did one season of the show, and it was all in 2005. Opening scene, you see London, 2005, heavy traffic, the shops, the double-decker buses. It definitely gives you a feel of England,
mm-hmm.
where the show was produced.
Yeah, that's something else, because again, I watched it in 2023, so I don't know. I really enjoy watching, shows that are kind of like set and based, which, Doctor Who's not really based in any time because it's about time travel, but still shows that are, primarily based in like the 90s and 2000s. And you very heavily get that when Doctor Who, with Eccleston's run, because, it's 05. So there's not really, there's cell phones, but they're the old school cell phones. And, you don't have the burden of trying to write in, how somebody doesn't know where this person is and they can just track them with this or that. It was a little easier back then. Nowadays, when you're writing a story that's set in today's times, it's a little harder to explain things.
So mostly, and like I said, you've got the tech and everything, but what makes the show really enjoyable and what really hooks you in, it can get very emotional at times. And I guess that's the only way to describe it.
Well, that's because
you get very invested in the characters.
Exactly.
And the events, and like I said, it takes a lot of dark turns. But Russell T. Davies and Stephen Moffat, to his credit, which did most of the writing on this season, really know how to hit you with the emotionals.
Oh, Stephen Moffat.
Emotionals? Yeah, good enough.
That'll work. Stephen Moffat's my favorite Doctor Who writer. He's the one that wrote my 2 favorite episodes from Eccleston's run, which is The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances. Those were written by Stephen Moffat.
Mm-hmm.
And he also wrote most of the episodes for Matt Smith's run. And so, yeah.
Yeah, by the time Matt Smith came around, he was head writer. Russell T. Davies had went on to other projects.
Mm-hmm. And Stephen Moffat also wrote Sherlock.
Good point. I had forgot about this.
Yeah, so he's pretty good at what he does.
Do I have to check? We'll have to do Sherlock at some point.
Oh, yes, definitely. I've read all the short stories. The short stories are amazing. And there've been a bunch of different movies and shows. And by far, the Sherlock by Stephen Moffat in the BBC, that's by far the best imitation of Sherlock, best portrayal of Sherlock.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, they done the best getting it as close to the short stories as possible. But back to Doctor Who.
Getting on the Eccleston, like I said, Eccleston brings the character back for the 2005 run. Does a great job with it. You definitely now the Doctor, which is all you ever know him by.
Oh yeah, he's the Doctor.
That's just his moniker. You learn more about the Time Lords later on, but in this one, if you're just coming into it, you're just finding these things out, and so that's his go by. That's his moniker is the Doctor. That's all you know him by. all anyone knows him by. And Eccleston does a great job of doing a character that looks younger, because the Doctor is, and the number changes throughout, the show. I don't think the Doctor himself knows how old he is.
He doesn't.
So he comes on. He says that he's 900 years old, and you definitely Eccleston portrays that well, showing that this guy's seen 900 years worth of living.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
A lot of the lines he delivers about knowing the turn of the earth and whatnot lets you know he's been around in a long time. There's just a few references to the Time War in the very first episode, which we'll touch on later on. You find out more about that later on.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily, we're doing this because at the end of the week,
the new season of Doctor Who drops with the new 15th Doctor,
which brings up a lot of things too. But at any rate,
yeah, we're not talking about that yet. We'll save our thoughts on what we're expecting for Friday.
Well, I mean, we have 15 Doctors now, and for the longest time. But you get more into the history of Time Lords later on. But
we can do that now.
Well,
since we're talking about the beginning.
Well, the lore of the Time Lords is that they could regenerate 12 times. And then after that, and we don't know how long that lifespan is, but after that, they died like, anyone else would. Through old age or accidents or, just the lifestyle that the Doctor leads.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. So, yeah, and, this is kind of jumping ahead, but since we're already on the topic, we're at near the end of Matt Smith's run as the Doctor. He's the 11th Doctor. He mentions that he used up an extra regeneration in there somewhere. It may have been with the whole, you remember, when he talks about, he's not going to regenerate, he doesn't have any regenerations left because he burned an extra one, staying in his same body when he was Tennant.
Oh, yeah, we're way ahead there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, though, so he had mentioned, that basically, he's already used his 12 generations, and then that's when the Time Lords, kind of from a different universe, give him more. It's a stupid storyline. But yeah.
But that's deep into later seasons. So
yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to Matt Smith.
Through Eccleston's run, at any rate, co-star Billie Piper. Like I said, at the time, she was had been somewhat successful as a musical artist in England.
I didn't know who she was, but I'm not from England, so
I'm assuming she's the character's around 19 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Billie Piper's age was at that time, and our internet again is down here today.
Yeah, so we
have no access to any information.
So we can't look that up.
I did not make notes, so because I didn't think I'd need them.
No, and to be fair, we don't need most. We're everything we said so far has been just right off the top of the dome.
Right. But as far as specifics, I don't have access to anything. I'm going to have to start making my notes. But at any rate, Billie Piper. She's just a young shop girl working in the shops of England.
Yep. Lives at home with her mother.
Mm.
Crazy mother.
And as it happens most of the time in Doctor Who, just by weird happenstance, the Doctor runs across her or she runs across him, and life is never the same again.
Yep. And probably, to me, she's the best companion. She's my favorite companion.
Now, that's a habit of the Doctor, is he tends not to travel alone for very long.
No.
He picks up, pets on the way, strays.
Mm-hmm.
People just happen by, and he needs a companion, so he takes them for a ride, and, hey, we'll be right back, and it's
never.
It's never just right back.
Never.
Number one thing, he can't control the TARDIS.
No.
For all his efforts, it goes where it wants to go.
Yeah.
It takes him. He doesn't take it. Like I said, you really get the impression, and this is throughout the show. This is in the old series too. He doesn't really know how to operate the thing 100%.
Oh, he doesn't. River Song literally mentions that in newer episodes.
That, honestly,
when she goes, "Yeah, he doesn't know how to fly the TARDIS."
But yeah,
she can take it exactly where it's supposed to go.
But that's a definite a thing with him is he has no control where he's really going. Sometimes it works for him.
Yeah, most of the time it's you know what? We're gonna go to 1976. Whoops, we're in 1876. Say hello to Queen Victoria.
Always seems to land in the middle of England, though.
Oh yeah, I mean he's drawn to England. So yeah, but from the first season, Eccleston's run, favorite episode from his run.
Favorite episode from that one.
Favorite episode from his run.
I rewatched Rose for the first time in a long time last night. I really forgot how good it was. That's just the reintroduction. Gives you a lot of not a lot of history, but enough to get you back into the show.
Right.
Introduces Rose, Mickey,
the tin dog,
Mickey, or Rose's mother.
I told you, crazy. God, that woman's crazy.
So you run into some characters that you'll see throughout the show.
Mm-hmm. You had the second episode, The End of the World. That's when the Doctor takes Rose on her first journey in the TARDIS, and they go to the end of the Earth when it explodes. But by then, us Earthlings have already spread across the galaxy, so we've abandoned Earth anyway. You had the Unquiet. You had the Unquiet Dead.
It's a very good episode. It takes them back to Victorian England. The Doctor and Rose meet up with Charles Dickens.
Yep. That's another thing about Doctor Who is you meet so many famous people throughout the history, which makes sense. You're going back through history. You're going to run into famous people. And
threaded throughout these episodes is a little bit of history of the Time War. And just for reference right now, the Time War was a battle between the Time Lords, which was the Doctor's people, and a race called the Daleks. And pretty much everything that happens throughout the season stems from the Time War and aliens running away from it, whose planets or homes were destroyed or food sources were destroyed, and Earth just seem to be gravitating toward Earth, and the Doctor's there to protect the Earth because he may have had a big hand in the Time War.
Yeah. You find out some more about that later on, but yes.
So you got the Unquiet Dead, also a race of aliens running away from the Time War, trying to find a new place to live.
And they try to use Rose to get to take over this new planet. Then you had the Aliens of London.
A lot of people don't care much for that one. I mean, I thought the Slitheen were kind of interesting.
That episode was setting up later episodes in the season.
True.
That was very much kind of a filler episode, priming you for later on. You had World War III. That's when you, actually, I think Aliens of London is where you first meet, what's her name? Ended up becoming the Prime Minister. She loves announcing her name. Oh, come on. I don't know why I can't think of it right now.
Again, I didn't check them all out again. I know who you're talking about. Cannot think of it. Basically, it's just a government figure that also recurs throughout the show. Yeah,
well, the Doctor takes a liking to her, basically helps her become Prime Minister, and then in the Christmas special for
puts a check on that
beginning
one
of season 2. She gets a little too powerful for his liking, and I guess you should use that word. And yeah, he ends her career with 6 words, 1 sentence. Anyway,
the Doctor has a dark turn to him at times.
Episode 6 from season 1 is Dalek.
That's the only one in that season based in the U.S.
Yeah, yep, based in
Utah.
I knew it was somewhere near the desert.
Yeah, rich, of course, rich American who just buys up
Henry
artifacts.
Van Staten, or Staten. Henry Van Staten.
That's when you get reintroduced to the Doctor's oldest enemy, the Daleks.
Yeah, that's when I got my first introduction to them.
A staple bad.
Again, it it didn't put me in awe like it probably did most people that knew.
Yeah, that's a staple villain from way back all the way to 63.
Oh yeah,
That's always been the Doctor's main antagonist was the Daleks.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's very much for me this was one of the more, I don't know what the proper word is. Anytime as I got into later seasons that the Daleks would show up, it was just for me. It was always, oh my God, here we go again. Because every time you meet the Daleks, it's always the last of the Daleks, the last of the Daleks.
Remember, the history of the Time War was the Time Lords and the Daleks, and supposedly,
yeah, they all died.
They were both wiped out. The only survivor of the Time War
was the Doctor.
But the Daleks pop up everywhere.
Everywhere, all the time, to the point where, I got tired of always, it ain't so much I got tired of the Daleks showing up, I got tired of the Doctor always calling them the last of the Daleks. It's never the last of the Daleks. The Daleks will be around as long as the Doctor's around, it's clear. But yeah, episode 6 of season 1 is when you first get your reintroduction to the Daleks, or in my case, your introduction to the Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 7 of season 1 was a long game.
Yeah, I did rewatch it.
Then you had Father's Day. That was a good episode.
It was. It's kind of a standalone.
Yep. Rose goes back in time.
I'd have to back up. I don't have the means to do it right now, but I'd like to know who wrote that one. Because it steps outside of the usual what we had been getting.
Yeah.
You get a race of aliens that are mentioned that then strangely never show up again.
Yeah.
So, and then they could have been very interesting all the way through the series, because they were the aliens that cleaned up messes in time.
Yeah. Cause
that's basically the Doctor's job.
Yeah. Basically, for that episode, Rose goes back in. Well, the Doctor and Rose go back in time to the day that Rose's father died in a car accident. And naturally, Rose can't help herself, but she wants to go see it. Don't know why you want to see it, but she wants to go see it. And then she can't help herself that she saves her father. He was supposed to die. She saved him.
Yep, so changing time is a big no-no.
Yeah, there's certain events, like the Doctor says, there's certain events that he can, alter and change willingly, freely. Nothing will happen. There's some events that are fixed. They cannot be changed. It's set down in history that these events happen, and they will happen one way or another. And basically, these creatures are there to clean up when something goes wrong in time.
But like I say, oddly, you never hear them mentioned or see them again.
And there's plenty of times throughout Doctor Who where the Doctor changes something or one of his companions changes something they're not supposed to.
Yeah, so there's definitely inconsistencies in it.
Oh, yeah.
Which there always will be in anything. That's what I say. You can't dig into the plot holes too much.
No, definitely not. You can't really, and we've mentioned this with the MCU. Anytime you're dealing with a show or movies that deal with time, you can't dig in too deep because there's just going to be holes everywhere.
Yeah, always.
It's impossible to write a story that deals with time and not have holes in it.
And Doctor Who's whole premise is time travel.
Yeah, that's the core of the show is about time travel.
So you will get many inconsistencies throughout the show. The excellent writing and storylines just kind of get you through that.
Right.
And again, that's a big part of the show, I think. That's its big appeal. That's what gets you to go back to rewatch it over and over again.
Yes, because I've seen it so many times since I literally, it's been like a year and a half since I originally watched it. And now I've already rewatched it so many times, it's unreal.
Yeah, you root for the hero who is not by any means perfect.
No.
Nothing the Doctor does is always the right thing to do. A good example in the very first episode. And here's something I watched. I rewatched Rose last night, actually. First time I'd watched it for some time. And at one point, if it hadn't been for Rose, the Doctor would have died. So, I mean, there's Rose saving the Doctor instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's he's not the perfect superhero all the time. In fact, the Doctor messes up a lot.
Oh, he does. In fact, that's why he needs a companion as much as he wants a companion, because the companions are there to kind of keep him from doing something stupid or more stupid than what he already does, and just help him from going crazy and again doing something he shouldn't do. Because the Doctor definitely has a carefree nature, which if you've been alive that long, I mean, you're probably gonna kind of feel a little bulletproof. Especially when you can regenerate. That's another side of it. It's like, oh, so what? If I get hurt, I just regenerate.
And another big, another part of the thing I like and happens a lot throughout the seasons, is you get these great monologues. Again, credit to good writers. You find a lot of information out in the just the one-off monologues that come about. Boomtown is a good example of that one. You find out a lot about the Doctor's nature just in one little piece of a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot there to like.
Yeah. Episodes 9 and 10 of the first season, The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances, my favorite, because that's a two-parter. That's my favorite episode
Of the
Eccleston run.
I agree with you.
That's when you
and
meet.
Those are probably my two favorites. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I know where this is going.
That's where you meet Captain Jack. Yeah, Captain Jack is just great character. Great character. I mean, he is like the most over the top, just, I guess you call him a space pirate.
Space pirates, space cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah, space cowboy kind of works better. Futuristic space cowboy.
Yeah.
Very much. You see him more throughout the seasons, but he's an excellent character, man. What was you gonna say now?
Oh, I was just agreeing with you. Like you were saying, Captain Jack is one of the better characters that the show produces. And he's like not the opposite of the Doctor, but they definitely see things differently, but kind of the same too. Like I say, Captain Jack, space pirate, yeah. Captain Jack is, when you first meet him, he's in it for profit,
Oh yeah.
He's just working a job. Goes on to actually get his own spinoff. That's where Torchwood came from.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the character's unique. I guess that's the best way to put it. The character is unique.
Yeah.
Played by John Barrowman.
Yep.
Oh, what do we have after the Empty Child and the Doctor Dances?
Boomtown.
Boomtown follows up with the Slitheen. Kind of ties in again.
And then Bad Wolf. Another good one.
Now the whole Bad Wolf storyline it stretches on into the next season. Next seasons.
Yeah.
It goes on for some time. And like I said, we can't touch on every little thing here, but overall, it's definitely worth the time to watch if you've never seen it.
Yeah. And then you had episode 13, the last episode of the season, The Parting of the Ways.
Which, like I said, this was Eccleston's only run.
Yeah.
So you kind of see where this is going.
Yep, The Parting of the Ways. That's the name of the episode. That's when Eccleston's run as the Doctor comes to an end and David Tennant's begins. That's also, funnily enough, the name of the chapter in Harry Potter. When the character David Tennant plays, his life comes to an end. So he goes from The Parting of the Ways in Harry Potter, he's out of that series, to, boom, The Parting of the Ways in Doctor Who. He's in this series.
So somebody dropped a little homage to someone there.
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, let's see, how would I word this? As a whole, for that season of Doctor Who, with Eccleston, when you compare it to, the originals, I don't, and then to what came after Eccleston, where would you put him? Do you think he was near the top, one of the better doctors.
Oh, that's absolutely one of the better
them.
doctors.
Okay.
Yeah, Eccleston's take on the Doctor was great.
Yeah.
He outshone several of the ones from the classic run. It's a shame that we only got one season with him.
That's what I was gonna say.
And it's a shame that he and Russell T Davies apparently did not see eye to eye, and that's a big part of why he was only there for one season.
Yeah. Apparently, a lot of people on the set, it wasn't that they didn't like Christopher Eccleston, but he was very much a kind of a loner on the set.
And I think that's just probably Eccleston's personality. I believe that was just part of his personality, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as his take of the Doctor, what I thought about it, yeah, he did great. Definitely a good choice to be the man that brought the character back.
Oh yeah.
After from the '89 to the 2005 lapse.
Mm-hmm. And his character felt like once you've watched all of it and you kind of understand like where, like the Ninth Doctor was in the Doctor's kind of career history at that point, and he very much portrayed that. And like I said, you don't realize any of this until you've watched later seasons and understand more about the Doctor's history. But he very much portrayed that, that man that he could have these moments where he was just spirited, happy-go-lucky, and then something would happen and he would just plummet right back down into that kind of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, when you understand more about the Doctor's history, you understand what he's coming off of as the Ninth Doctor. So I thought he portrayed that very, very well. And that kind of ties up. Whoops, wrong button there. That kind of ties up Eccleston's run.
Like I said, it was a short run, just one season, but excellent. Like I said, definitely the right character, the right actor to have brought it back. In 2005, Eccleston and Davies hit gold.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely started something that lasts through several more years to come.
Oh, yeah. And when I finally did watch Doctor Who, when I saw Eccleston, I know Christopher Eccleston from Gone in 60 Seconds. It's just, he's the main villain in that movie. So when I'd seen him in Doctor Who, I was like, what? Who? What? It was just so confusing for me because all I had seen him do was play this kind of...
You realize you just did Tennant's signature thing? What?
I didn't even know I was doing that. Well then. Anything else to say on Eccleston's run?
Excellent job. I was very excited when it came out again because I was an old Doctor Who fan from the old run. So definitely glad to see it come back when it did. For the first season, excellent show.
Well then, I believe that'll wrap up our the beginning to our run through Doctor Who. Tomorrow will be Allons-y, David Tennant's run as the Doctor. May go one, maybe two episodes because he had a lot of good episodes. So we'll have to see, where it takes us. But that's gonna do it for today.
All right.